Change makers, and welcome to The Core, sponsored by Red Apple EdCo. This is your everything education podcast. We talk about current events, books to read. We interview education leaders, hear their stories, learn from their biggest lessons, and they share what they wish you knew about what it means to be in education today. I'm your host, Dr. Kia Turner. Buckle up for small seeds of inspiration that can lead to big changes in your classroom practice. Let's take a bite out of today's guest. Hey, fire starters, forgive the late episode again. It has been a crazy week. Honey, I just did a conference today. It was awesome. Shout out to all the early childhood educators who came to my presentation. It was a good time of learning with Sesame Street and Communities, an amazing program. If you guys are not checking out the resources that are offered via Sesame Street and Communities, you definitely need to. They have a ton of free lessons, downloadables. They offer professional development. They have cool conferences where speakers like me come. I'm just saying it's a really good program and it's readily accessible to all of us, specifically those of you who are in an early childhood setting. So my bad. All of that kept me from wrapping up the Engaging Parents 102 series. This week, we've been talking about how to have tough conversations with parents because the truth is it's gonna come up. A part of being a teacher is helping parents to understand how to help kids. And those conversations can be tough, right? So my survival tip for you, because while we talk every day, a survival tip is like something that you need to put in your toolbox and make sure that no matter what, you don't forget this. And it is to be solution focused. Do not talk to a parent about a problem unless you have a solution. And the reason I like this is because it allows you to keep your ideas limited to what's within like your locus of control or the parent's locus of control, right? So I'll tell you that today I was talking to teachers at this conference, and some of them said, you have kids who come in the door and they're on the cell phones and they're not necessarily ready to be at school. If we were to talk to parents about this, that's not necessarily in the teacher's locus of control. And because we're not sure of what happens with family dynamics outside of school, I don't even know that that's always within the parent's locus of control. Does that make sense? Yes, you could take the phone from your child, but we don't know what taking the phone from the child is going to do. We don't know why the parent's giving it to them in the first place. We don't know what the parent has going on. We're assuming we're going to replace the phone with something, but that's a big assumption. It could be nothing that replaces it. So keep that in mind. That's why I'm like, it's important that we stick to problems that are solvable and ultimately that we can lend a hand in help solving. And so here are my top 3 ways, right? Because y'all know I love the number 3. Things happen in 3s. I always have had, just amazing things occur in 3s in my personal life. So 3 ways to be solution focused. You probably guessed the first one. You need to make sure that the problem is within your locus of control. Is what's bugging you something you can do something about or something the parent can do something about? If you have a child that's chatty, okay, because this was me and it's also my kid. If you have a child that's chatty, is it within your locus of control to say the kid can't talk during class? You can't control that child's mouth. You know what I mean? Is it within the parent's locus of control? Not really. They're not there with the child every day. Who you'd need to rope into that would be the student. So you, the student, and the parent would need to come up with a plan to help the student talk less. It's probably never going to get down to not talking at all, but maybe talking less is something that you can do. However, a kid, let's see, who's disruptive in class, maybe they refuse to do work and they are getting out of their seat and keeping everybody off task. Now that is within your locus of control. You're able then to arrange the class in such a way that the student is not allowed to do that. You're able to partner with the parent to institute some type of recognition system when the student has a great day. You're able to work with the student themselves, as a matter of fact, and figure out what is going on that's leading to the behavior. I just had a teacher, and I think I told you guys this, who inboxed me, and she was like, the kids in my class are cursing, they're out of their seats, they're all over the place, I don't know what to do with them. And so we talked through some solutions, the chief of which, though, was to have somebody else come see what's happening in your class. There may be things that are going on that are totally within your locus of control, and you're not doing anything about them. So there you go. So first, make sure it's in your locus of control. Number two, make sure the solution is collaborative. It shouldn't just be owned by you. It shouldn't just be owned by the parent. Ideally, solutions should be owned by you and the student and the parent. So don't get annoyed by things that have nothing to do with you. What a kid wears, what they eat for breakfast, or whether or not they eat for breakfast. You know, how they style their hair or what's important, the music they listen to. Like, none of these things are within your locus of control. And for some parents, it may not even be in theirs. You can tell your kids something, but when they leave you, when they leave, you don't know what they're doing. So focus on things that you can control within the confines of your classroom and troubleshoot collaboratively with parents and students. And then number three, focus on things that are time bound. We only have kids for 1 year at a time. Depending on the school you're at, you might have them more than that. But the majority of us get just the 1 year with them. If that's the case, you can't get lost in the sauce and be like, oh my God, I need to solve all of the problems. There's so many things here. And I say that because that's happened to me, and we do it because we care. You end up trying to solve a child's whole life, and in the meantime, you're forgetting to instruct them, right? And I talk about this in my book, Shameless Plug. You need to get the Fired Up Teacher's Pocket Guide to an Awesome First Year off of Amazon. It is available right now. But anyway, we get so lost in trying to solve their whole lives that we end up not giving them what they actually need to go out and live it, okay? And so you make sure that the solutions you come up with parents and children are within your locus of control and are time-bound, like things that are going to make a difference quickly in your classroom this year so you can get back to learning. That will help you to stay on course. Keeping these three things in mind will keep you from getting lost in good intentions but poor delivery. All right, that is all I have for today. You guys make sure that you enter Arm & Hammer Spooky STEM Fest competition. Listen, y'all leaving money out here sitting on the table, okay? $2,000 to fund your dreams, honey. What are you looking to do? What is it that you would get started doing if you just had the extra money? Think of this Arm & Hammer science experiment as a chance to launch what you've wanted to launch, that thing that's been sitting inside of you, that opportunity you've been waiting to come your way. It is absolutely here. Go ahead and create a Halloween themed science experiment. Honey, Google one. Google one, add some pumpkins and some spiders, a little web to the table, you know what I mean, and call it good. But you need to enter the contest and give yourself the chance to win the money to go to the next level. And you can enter at www.armandhammer.com/SpookyStemFest. Contest closes October 15th. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm at firedup_teaching, or on Twitter, I'm at firedup_teacher. That is all I have for today, fire starters. Go forth, be great, and stay lit. That's all we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Core. Wherever you are listening to us, be sure to like our show, subscribe, and share the episode that's meant the most to you. We appreciate every single one of our subscribers, as do our sponsors. We look forward to seeing you next week. You can also check us out on YouTube at Red Apple Edco if you'd like to see more video of these conversations. We have them posted there.